In Syndea 3.1, an interface to Simulink Stateflow was added. As with the standard Simulink interface, it allows users working in one tool to generate a corresponding model in the other, and to compare and synchronize them on an ongoing basis as one or both of the models change. For example, a system engineer modeling behavior with state machines in SysML could generate the same state machine architecture in Stateflow for purposes of simulation. Or, an organization used to modeling systems in Stateflow could transform those models into SysML for modeling system architecture and linking behavior to structure and requirements. In our demonstration, we begin with a simple SysML state machine describing the flight states of our unmanned aerial vehicle. Initially, 4 states are identified: power on, meaning on the ground; manual flight, under direct ground-based control; autonomous flight, flying a pre-programmed course; and autonomous landing, an emergency situation in which communication with the ground is lost and the UAV must return to base automatically. As part of a larger SysML model, internal behaviors and transitions, guards, and effects are defined for the system. We assume that we have Syndea properly installed with the 3.1 version of the Simulink interface license, and we have created an empty destination folder in our local file system to receive the Simulink model. We launch Syndea from the Stateflow demo package. In the repository manager, we find our local file system connection and make sure we can see the destination folder, 1 Demo Stateflow. In the connection manager, we go again to our local file system connection and expose the empty folder. On the left side, we find the SysML state machine behavior or state chart under the UAV block. After setting the connection type to model transform, we drag the UAV state chart 0 into the empty folder and click Yes to confirm. When the model transform is complete, we can see the new Simulink model inside the folder and expand it to see the state chart elements. As a shortcut, we can right-click it in the Syndea dashboard or from the Rhapsody browser and open it directly. This launches Simulink and ultimately opens the model with the state chart symbol. We double-click it to see the state machine. Now we can drag the states and transitions around to reproduce the original layout more closely. At this stage, let's look at the model transform results more closely. We can see that the states and transitions are reproduced, but not internal behaviors or the triggers, guards, and effects. In Syndea 3.1, these are not carried over, but must be entered on the Simulink side. Essentially, only the skeleton of the state machine is common to both tools. There are a few other caveats to look out for in this transformation. Multi-level state machines, i.e. state machines within states, are not handled. Final states are not carried over. Stateflow does not recognize these. Multiple transitions between the same states in the same direction are transformed as a single transition. Despite these limitations, the model transform connection created does allow us to compare and sync the models bidirectionally with respect to the common elements. Back in Rhapsody, we will add a new state pending to the model. We have dragged the end of one outgoing transition to the new state, and the end of an incoming transition to the new state as well. Finally, we added a new transition from pending to manual flight. The logic is that we want a confirmation from the ground controller before returning to the manual flight state. Otherwise, we continue with autonomous landing. Before we use Syndea to update these changes, I will save and close the Simulink model. This is good practice. We don't want to have unsaved changes to the Simulink models while Syndea updates them. Those changes will be lost. In the Syndea dashboard, we go to the connection browser and find the connection under UAV State Chart 0 and select Compare SysML and Target. The results in the Comparison Result tab show a lot of differences. There is one new state in the SysML model, pending, and there are 5 differences in transitions. 2 transitions have disappeared from SysML, and 3 new ones created. Syndea identifies transitions in terms of their starting and ending states, so if we change either one of these, we have effectively deleted the old transition and created a new one. To update the Stateflow model, return to the connection browser. This time we choose Sync SysML to Target and click Yes. When the update is complete, we can see the new state in the diagram. Opening the modified model in Simulink, we see the new states and transitions, which can be rearranged if we want. The process of going from Stateflow to SysML is essentially the same. Look for additional videos on this feature for more information.